Our next segment is brought to you by our friends at Stamps.com, postage for your PC. And I have used Stamps.com extensively to send out my new auction book because, of course, you know, they don't have anything that I can use to ship these without going through either the USPS click and ship or a service like Stamps.com. So I'm finding it very, very useful. I send stuff to my mom, to my daughters. It's really, really cool. If you have an eBay account, you can use it for totally free. And that link to go to the free sign up for eBay sellers is stamps.com/Danni. And they do have a pro version. The pro version gives you tons of cool stuff. And that is stamps.com/the Danni app, I believe is that one. We'll have to correct that in the notes, Lisa, because I got the same link for both the free and the paid. So I can never remember which is which. One of them is free and one of them is paid. So we definitely want to get those straightened out. Okay, so here's a funny story and a lesson. So if you have something that hasn't sold and you really, really want it to sell, here's what I recommend. Decide to keep it. Just decide that you're going to put it up on a shelf that you need a ladder to get to and climb up on, and that you get the whole decor in place. And yeah, because that's exactly what happened to me this week. My biggest score of the week was my big candlestick holders. And is Beth here tonight? If Beth is in the chat, she was with me when I bought these at her auction house in Philadelphia. I couldn't talk her into bidding on them. I tried. And I told her, you cannot let those go that cheap. So I bid. I won. I won them for $25. We had to go out to a thrift store and find a big suitcase to get them home in, and I did. And let me pull those up and show those to you. One second as I move some stuff around here. All right, so let's try this. Let's try this. Ooh, there we go. You guys like that? Well, let me show them to you, and then we can go back to that. All right, so, and I'm checking notes here, making sure I'm not missing anything. So I paid $25 for these and got them home. It really didn't cost me anything to get home except a $5 suitcase. And voila! As soon as I decided I was including them in my decor, they sold for $400. And of course, my husband is now gone, which means, guess what I get to do? I get to climb up the ladder and get these down all by myself. And the smart aleck that he is, he tells me to just put my phone down at the base of the ladder, because that way if I fall, I can reach it to dial 911. Isn't he sweet? So be on the lookout for these altar candlesticks. These are fairly large. And I bought another pair at my local auction today, and I think I had to pay $25 or $37.50 for them. They didn't go for much. But they're they're not metal. They're not ceramic. I don't even know what they're like a plaster. They're very strange, very strange. So, but you know what? After I just sold these, I am so putting those up, and voila. We're going to get those suckers sold too. And they're going to take the place of where I had these ones at the very least. So, all right. Let's see. What else did I sell this week? Oh, and for those of you who were at my Fenton Glass webinar, first of all, thank you for being there. And let me show you this one. Ta-da! I actually sold my Fenton Cranberry Glass basket. This is a QVC piece that is hand painted and double signed. You can see it's got the Bill Fenton signature on it, and there was a whole series that was done with the family signatures on it. So there you go. And I took a best offer of $79.95 because it was going close by. So the shipping wasn't too bad. Wasn't too bad. So was definitely not a problem getting that shipped off. All right. So good. I've had a very good week. In fact, I wanted to share something with you if I still have that. Oh, I may not have kept that up now. Darn it. That's how I am. Hold on. Just to be totally transparent with you guys and show you what's going on. Let me see if I can pull this up. And there we go. You can see, since I've actually gotten my butt back to work and I'm listing, I have had a nearly $1,300 week. 1 week. That's 7 days, guys. 7 days. So you work it, it works. That's all I got to say. You guys, just keep on trucking. Keep on trucking. If you are not having good sales and you're listing stuff, then we need to look at what you're listing. And let me just give a little tiny segue over and talk about my Cassini webinar. I had a lot of you on that Cassini webinar, and it's up and available for purchase of the replay for a whopping $5, you guys. $5, and I think you're going to find that it is going to help you a lot. The eBay screens are fuzzy. Uh-oh. We're going to have to do something about that. Well, at least we do have eBay screens. At least we have them. Yay! Okay, now we're on full screen again because we're going to talk about what I have been purchasing this week. So, Plush of the week, guys. Plush of the week. Let me reach behind me and get these guys. I got 3 of these. Okay. So, sometimes it isn't all about the actual price of an item. I got 3 of these guys. Now, they are licensed Harley Davidson, pigs, hogs. We have Valentine's Day coming up, guys. Dare I remind you? Plush for Guys. Plush for Guys, #1, sells really well. Now, these are not big sellers. I will get $15 to $20 a piece, but it's one listing, 3 different items. So even at $15 a piece, that's $45. And I did pay $3 a piece, minus 20% with my discount. So let's just say $3 a piece into 20. You guys do the math. I'm too tired tonight to do the math. But you can see if you have depth of inventory, don't worry if it's a lower priced item. It's still worth it in the overall scheme of work. And these get thrown into a poly bag and shipped on their way. Easy peasy. The other ones that I did were these. And while these are not exactly the same, they are still all, some of them are the same. Like I've got 3 seals, or 4 seals. 4 seals, a penguin, and a bear. And they're Pepsi Cola, and they're these big eye critters. They're 2000, these are 2013, the seals. And you know what? I couldn't even find the seals listed for sale right now. So I'm going to get those up right away because those are good. But anyway, it's pretty much one listing, and I could do a multi-variation, but I probably won't until they allow me to do best offer with multi-variation. But even so, sell similar. I just tweak a couple of things. They're going to get priced the same. Yes, and my mom sells these little guys because I've sent them to her before. Actually, she's probably going to end up with these because she's already done well with them. But they were 99 cents, 99 cents. So depth of inventory. That's my plush tip of the week. Plush tip of the week. And Zena's here and has access to my office, so I'm going to have to keep an eye if any of those plush walk out the door. Sometimes she can't help herself. Zena is my dog. Yes. Poor Zena. Okay. Some of my auction buys from last week. included. Now, I don't know if this is I don't know if you say it, Rouge or Rouge. That is a brand. I can't find that name on this anywhere, but it does have the Made in Italy. Okay, and I have to look over here to make sure I'm showing you in the screen, right? It is these beautiful inlaid flowers, and it plays Blue Danube. And it's got the key. So I was investigating. Now, this was a lot that I wasn't going to bid on. It came in a lot with 5 music boxes, and about 3 of them, the lids are disconnected, you know, from the box. So I'm like, yeah, okay, I'm going to have to do those as kind of like my loss leaders, $9.99. But then I looked this one up, and this is what's really cool is I can show you guys. This is the exact one with a different song, but it's pretty much the exact music box someone else sold with a not so great picture for $70. And this is what really excited me, is that there was 14 bids. So there is a lot of interest in this. So I probably won't run this at auction. I will probably put it on fixed price at either $99.95 or maybe $124.95. Yep. So excited about that. Doesn't matter what I get for the other ones at this point. All right, let me come back to here. Okay, and let's see. Oh, and then here is another item. And I'm just going to pull this up first so I'm ready to go. Okay, so here is another. This is a lot that nobody wanted. They couldn't give these away to save their life. These 2 figurines. I paid $5 for the pair. So this one is not so much. I'll probably run it at auction just to see if I can just send it on its way. But this one, on the other hand, now you would look at this and kind of think, it's like just a cheap figurine. And I looked back here, and number one, and see this, I don't know if you guys can see, much better than over on the Spreecast where we used to be, the quality. This is a Capodimonte. This is, and it's a very subtle mark there, Capodimonte, but that's not the most exciting part, okay? I looked and looked and looked and thought, this is certainly in the style of Armani, and right here is the GA. Let's see. Make sure I'm pointing to the right spot. And ignore my dirty nails, you guys. We were painting black dressers, and I still have black paint under my nails. How embarrassing. Okay, so there's a very, very subtle GA that stands for Giuseppe Armani is his full name. And let me just show you some results. I could not find this exact one, but actually, I didn't even have the Giuseppe name in there yet, the Armani name in there yet. Watch this. Let me just change this up a little bit on the fly. And there you go. Giuseppe Armani is a name you do want to be on the lookout for because that name sells. That name sells. And what I may just do is start this on a low auction just to see what happens. Why not? Okay, so love that I get to show you guys some of this. So be on the lookout. Sometimes a cheap looking figurine isn't so cheap after all. Give it a closer look because somebody else might have missed that. I know the auction house missed that. All right, what else do I have here? I know we're going to be running over on time here. Royal Doulton. Royal Doulton. Let me pull this back up. Royal Doulton figurines go back to long ago, early 1900s. I don't know, maybe they were around before that. Anyway, the ones I'm familiar with, these figurines, started in about like 1903. Anyway, this is the mask seller. Picked him up for $25. Now he has a newer Royal Doulton mark, and we're going to talk about those marks in a minute, but he still will sell for $75. $75. And then I got this one. This is called Autumn Breezes. And there are several of these that date back to originally, it even says copyright 1939. But here's a trick, and I'm going to pull this up and I'm going to show you guys because this is so cool that I can do this now. Ta-da! Here's some Royal Doulton marks. So here's how you know if you have an old Royal Doulton. 1932, very, very subtle differences here. It has the Made in England, and it has this little inner connection of what looks like bits to me. But as you get to 1973, the logo, it shrunk. They put fine china down at the bottom, and the inner little workings got different, and that's what this girl has. So that's how I know it's a 1973 or later and not the earlier one. So Royal Doulton is pretty good at being able to date just by the marks. And you can see this is a really cool site. It's antique-marks.com, and then I just went to Royal Doulton. So I guess Royal Doulton goes back into the late 1800s, but it was Burslem was another mark that they had. Kind of combined the company. Do you hear my little guys talking in the background? Even though I told them that they need to be quiet. So there we go. Ah, yes. Well, you know, I may just run her on auction. I'm going to start playing with different formats because you know Cassini likes things to sell quickly, and so we're gonna test some theories. We're gonna test, and here's the trick too, and why niche is so important. If you sell Royal Doulton and you have several pieces of Royal Doulton in your store, by all means, don't be afraid to use something as a loss leader and list it for maybe just a little over what you paid for it. Run that traffic into all your other Royal Doulton items. Little trick. Little trick.
Who let them cows out?